Hello, welcome to a video in which I'm going to be talking about the Masters of Cinema series very briefly, which is housed under Eureka Entertainment, and it's a company that's been putting out Blu-rays and DVDs of classic films or important films, and in some cases cult films, for the past 10 years or so. I think actually this is their 10th anniversary this year. I'm a huge fan of them and have been for quite a while. Over the past couple of years they've slowly creeped up there, but now my interest has peaked in classic silent cinema. I've really come to love the Masters of Cinema series. I now have, I think, 21 titles from them, and I have 11 out of the 16 steelbooks, and I really want to get all the steelbooks. But I wanted to quickly talk to you about my plans to collect all of them, and also to just kind of ask a few people or anyone out there if they can help me out with a couple of titles. First of all, I kind of, I like collecting things, and if things are numbered, I always feel like I have to get all of them. With something like the Criterion Collection, which has been going on for such a long time, and they release so many titles every month, it's pretty much impossible to ever have a complete Criterion Collection. I mean, they're up to like, what, 600-700 spine numbers now. It's ridiculous. The Massive Cinema series hasn't even reached 100 spines yet, and of course they number them, which is really tricky because for me, a collector like me, I want to kind of have all of them, and if they weren't numbered, I wouldn't want to have all of them. So they really know how to market well to stupid ass collectors like me. But for me, I said this in my weekly chat this week, I kind of like the idea of owning all of them because I feel like every film they put out is there for a reason. It's not just a film they found the rights to and thought we can make some money off it. It's a film they thought this is significant for the history of cinema in some way or another. You have these classic films like Metropolis, like M, Die Nibelungen, Passion of Joan of Arc. I'm looking at my collection right now. Silent Running, which you wouldn't think a 70s sci-fi, but it is important. It's a different film, Some silent classics for All Mankind, a documentary I watched the other night, which was fantastic. They put out some great films from all sorts of directors from many different years and time periods. But I love the best is when they release classic silent films, and really what kind of tipped my decision into wanting to pursue the idea of collecting all of them is that they announced their slate for the rest of the year, the rest of 2014, over the next 3 or 4 months, and wow, it was a killer announcement. I mean, and I think people are trying to work it out because they've kind of gone back and forth on the spine numbers. Like sometimes they'll release number 80, then number 70 will come after that or something, and they're now caught up and every number is filled, and with the announced titles, one of them is going to be number 100. So I think that the collection is going to reach 100 spines by the end of the year, and I have 21. That's a fifth of the collection, and I feel like it's doable, over a couple of years maybe. And some of the titles are really cheap now on Zavvi and stuff like that, and some of the regular releases. There's a few more steelbooks I want to get that are a decent price. The main one is Metropolis Steelbook, and this is where I want to kind of ask people if anyone out there has the Metropolis Steelbook and they don't, they would be willing to sell it to me for a decent-ish price, not a ridiculous 50, 60, 70, 80 quid kind of price. I had someone contact me on Blu-ray.com about it, and I was really thinking about it, but they had a couple of scratches on it, and just a bit too much for me to want to get it. I really want it to be in at least decent condition. It doesn't have to be sealed. So if there's anyone out there who'd be willing to sell it to me, not right now, I don't have any money right now, but in the future, I don't know, maybe we can work something out, because I would love to own all the steelbooks, especially Metropolis, one of the best films ever made. But that one's, I'd be okay. I could live with not having that edition, but the main one I wanted to ask people about, if they have it and they don't love it and they would consider selling it or trading something for it, is Una Femme Marie, which is a film which is number 4 in the collection, and it is currently the only one in the whole series which is out of print. A couple of steelbooks are out of print, the Metropolis one and Touch of Evil, which I very generously was given as a gift a couple of weeks ago. Thanks again, man, you know who you are. Really appreciated that. Still can't believe how great that was. I thought the condition was going to be much worse, but it was just, I'm so happy with it. Anyway, yeah, so Una Femme Marie, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, number 4 in the collection. It's out of print now and it sells for crazy money, which is probably not the best thing to say, because if you do have it, you're probably going to take it now and sell it for lots of money. But if anyone has it, and someone said this to me, maybe I should just make a video and see if anyone has it and would be willing to sell it to me for a decent-ish price. I'd really want to get that one before it becomes impossible to get, and almost seems like it is becoming impossible to get. So yeah, if anyone could help me out with that, that'd be awesome. Just let me know. And again, I don't have any money right now, but in the future, maybe if you would consider it, that'd be awesome. Anyway, overall, yeah, I've decided that I'm gonna try and collect all of them. And as I said, the main kind of thing that swayed my decision was the announcement, which I'm going to talk about now to close the video. Wow, the titles coming up are just amazing. I mean, they've just released Faust and The Woman in the Moon, Frau im Mond, two 10 out of 10 silent films from the 20s, which is probably my favourite decade for cinema right now. I just think there's so many great films that came out in the 1920s, those two included, and they've just put out two amazing Blu-ray editions of those films. There is The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari is coming out in September, which is going to be amazing as well, another film from the 20s. And then throughout the rest of the year you have Diary of a Lost Girl, which I can't wait to see, another film, silent film from the 20s. Then there's going to be another Fritz Lang film, Spies, which is again from the 20s, and this kind of bridges the gap between, I think, Metropolis and Frau im Mond, which means that once Spion is released on Blu-ray, the Massive Cinema series will have released every Fritz Lang film from 1922 to 1933 in amazing Blu-ray editions, and that is awesome for any Fritz Lang fan. I haven't seen Spion yet, so I'm really looking forward to that one as well. The Thief of Baghdad, another classic silent film from the 20s. Oh, I can't wait for that one as well. I almost watched it on Netflix a few weeks ago, but I'm going to hold off for the Blu-ray. Les Miserables, 1934 version, I believe, the French one, which is almost 5 hours long. And there's another one, Intolerance, D.W. Griffith's Intolerance, from 1916, which is another epic. And you know, there's a picture of that film that just blows me away every time. It's one of the biggest sets I've ever seen in my life, probably even the biggest. And it was just an absolute epic, you know, and I've heard that it's a bit of a hard slog to watch, but I'm still interested in it from a historical point of view. I don't think there's anything else, I'm not sure, but the slate is Federico Fellini's The Clowns is also coming out, so some amazing titles. I can't wait to see the cover art and what the special features are going to be and all that kind of thing. And yeah, with silent films they sometimes offer different scores as well, which is great, especially with Faust. There was a couple of different versions for the score for that film, including 2 versions of the film. So they go all out, and I'm a huge fan of them. And there we go. That's my video on Massive Cinema for now. And again, if you have one of those 2 titles I was talking about that you know, you would be interested in selling, or you know, wouldn't mind selling, you know, to someone who's really trying to collect all of them, let me know. Otherwise, it's all good. Thanks for watching, and let me know what you think of the Massive Cinema series, and if you collect them, anything like that, comment down below. Thanks for watching, I'll see you next time.
He says he's really cool, but I think he's a tool. Even though I'm sure he's a quite nice guy, really. He's a quite nice guy, really.